This video is sponsored by Let's Get Checked. I'm gonna help you naturally boost your testosterone so you feel better and you can recover a little bit more effectively. And we're gonna start right now. Okay, so before we start, why is there such an obsession over testosterone? Everybody's like, I need to increase my testosterone. And we sort of forget some of the other key players. We forget luteinizing hormone, SHBG, estradiol, free test, thyroid. We forget all these other things as though test is the pinnacle of what we have to optimize. And why is that? Really, a lot of this comes back to testosterone has been shown anecdotally for various people to actually improve their life, to give them more energy, to help them with their brain cognitive ability, to help them increase lean muscle mass. And what most men feel is that as they're aging, they typically feel like, oh man, I kill to feel like I did when I was 30 years old. I'd kill to feel like that. I'd kill to have that energy. I'd kill to be able to work out again and at that intensity level. And typically that is related back to testosterone. You're recovering slower. As you age, testosterone continues to sort of plummet and you lose that sense of aggression. You lose that ability to really get into the weight room and push yourself. And we've even seen with testosterone that it is linked to immunity. Oftentimes, individuals with a little bit higher test levels have a better immune system. And it's also been shown to enhance stress management. Again, we're talking about slowly increasing testosterone. We can see an improvement in overall stress management. I'm not saying to go out and blast tests so that your test levels are, 2,000, because then we might see a little bit more of an aggression side effect. But what we're looking at is higher test levels typically will lead to more energy, even better night's sleep, an improvement in lean muscle mass, and improvement in overall immunity as well. So these are all some of those symptoms that everyone's chasing when they're discussing increasing their testosterone. Hey guys, if you're watching this, you clearly care about testosterone and your overall health. Recent studies have shown that men's testosterone levels are dropping substantially since the 1980s at about an average of 1% per year. Think about your dad. If he was 30 years old when you were born, your testosterone levels could be 30% lower than your dad's. Low testosterone can have all types of health effects on men. It can cause you to lose muscle mass in your body, it can affect your mood, it can affect your memory, and even your sex drive. And yes, low testosterone is more common the older you get, but it can affect anyone at any age. So let's talk about today's sponsor, Let's Get Checked. They're a worldwide leader in at-home testing kits, and their male hormone test lets you easily test your testosterone level at home. You can order a testing kit that will be delivered to you in discreet packaging with next day delivery. Once your sample arrives at the laboratory, confidential results will be available from your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. These results are reviewed by a clinician, and a member of the Let's Get Checked nursing team may call you to review your results. So if you want to test your hormone levels without having to leave your home, visit trylgc.com/garage strength and get 30% off your test. Now, let's find out how we can boost your testosterone for your next at-home test naturally. So that first key concept that you can use to improve your testosterone levels is actually partake in resistance training. This sounds like a no-brainer, but a lot of people will be out looking for ways to take tests or to increase their test, and they don't even lift weights. And what we've seen through a lot of different research is that if you're strength training, if you're resistance-based training 3 to 4 days a week for 45 to 60 minutes, you will see an acute effect on your testosterone levels. So if you go in and do a squat workout or you do an upper body workout, you will actually see an acute response where your testosterone increases. And if you can do this over 3 to 4 to 5 months consistently, now we're gonna see a chronic increase in your testosterone levels. So make sure you're actually resistance training. On top of this, when people resistance train, they tend to be a little bit leaner. And that takes us into our second key tip, is that we need to stop being fat, okay? One of the things that I noticed for myself personally was that when I dropped from 295 pounds, maybe I was 300 for a day, and I dropped down to about where I'm at now at 230 pounds, I was going in for regular blood work because I was struggling with Lyme disease, okay? So I was just in this total disarray hormonally and this total disarray mentally as well when I was dealing with Lyme disease. But as I dropped weight and kept coming down from that 300-pound mark, my testosterone gradually started to increase because I stopped being fat. If we can prioritize our nutrition, that's going to improve our overall lean muscle mass. And if we're resistance-based training, that's gonna piggyback and help us gain lean muscle mass while we're slowly changing and going through that caloric deficit where we're focusing on carbohydrates, we're focusing on the right amount of protein, and we're focusing on the right amount of fat. That's going to increase our natural testosterone levels. That third key tip is going to be try to sleep more. There's been research that has shown that when men have a child, we're not giving birth to the child, we're just partaking in the relationship where our wife or our significant other is dealing with all the real stress and we're just sort of along for the ride. But what has been shown to occur is for the first 2 to 3 months, there's a drastic decrease in the testosterone levels for most men. So when they have a newborn child, their tests will decrease. Why is this? Because they're not getting enough sleep. So as we age and we take on more responsibility and we have more accountability from the world to actually be responsible human beings, we tend to see a dip in our sleep quality, which leads to a dip in our overall testosterone. This is also gonna correlate with eating well. Typically, if we don't sleep well, we don't eat that well. And if we don't eat that well, we're probably not going to the gym and resistance-based training. So make sure that you're getting your sleep. Make sure that you have a nightly ritual, you have a routine, you have a period of disconnect. A lot of people go to work all day, they come home, they feel overwhelmed by their children or overwhelmed by their job or overwhelmed by their relationship. They sit on Instagram and just swipe all day and they never actually unwind properly. And then they go to bed and their mind's going in 900 different ways. They're not happy and they're depressed, and then they start to eat poorly, and it's just this never-ending downward spiral. So we need to make sure that we prioritize our sleep. If we prioritize our sleep, we're gonna be better cognitively, we're gonna have better management of our stress, and it in turn is going to improve our ability when we get into the weight room. Now, we just talked about sleep, and one thing that we can't forget when we're dealing with sleep is our fourth key tip. Our fourth key tip is to get outside and see sunlight. That sounds ridiculous, but it actually needs to happen. When we wake up, within the first 30 to 60 minutes, we should not pick up our phone and look at it. We should not check our email. We should not do anything like this. If you want to read a book, that's fine. I recommend not having caffeine for even the first 30 minutes that you wake up. I instead recommend getting outside, seeing the sun, get that sunlight on your eyeballs, okay? Get it on your eyeballs, and that's going to establish your circadian rhythm. You do that when you first wake up for about 10 to 15 minutes. You can go for a walk. It's peaceful. It helps you manage your stress. You feel a lot more motivated. You start to think about your personal goals and where you want to go in life, and now you feel a little bit better about what's going on. And then around lunchtime, you do the exact same thing, about 15 to 30 minutes, seeing the sun, and then you do that again in the afternoon, in the evening, right as you're starting to unwind and your body gets into the rhythmic cycle of a natural state of human beings, right? So we need to get outside. And you can even do this when you're playing with your children or you're going for walks with your significant other, whatever that might be. It's going to improve your sleep quality. It's going to improve your testosterone levels because now you're sleeping better and you're getting exposed to vitamin D, which is also correlated to increasing your testosterone. And then finally, that fifth key tip is going to be taking these two specific supplements. So first one is going to be mucuna purines, otherwise known as L-Dopa. This has been shown to decrease stress and increase testosterone. Another key concept that I recommend that improves sleep is taking 40 winks. 40 winks would be a ZMA. So take ZMA, try to get 60 to 90 milligrams of zinc throughout the day, but I like to get about 40 to 60 milligrams just prior to bed. If I take zinc with magnesium and vitamin B6, maybe I throw some choline, vitamin C, pantethine in there as well. What ends up happening is that my zinc and my magnesium, by taking 40 winks, which has zinc and magnesium in it together, it improves my sleep, and zinc has also been shown to increase testosterone through a mechanism of decreasing estrogen. So take L-Dopa daily, take 40 winks, or find your own ZMA that you want to take daily prior to bed, and that's going to lead to an increase in your overall testosterone naturally. So we covered all the reasons why testosterone is actually effective. We talked about lean muscle mass, improving stress management, improving immunity, and then we went into those 5 key things that you can do today to improve your natural testosterone levels over a long period of time. And those simple changes just include making sure that you're resistance-based training, so you're strength training, making sure you're sleeping well, making sure you're not being as fat as you normally are. Take it from me, I was 300 pounds. Everybody can do it. It is a hard thing to do, but if you really prioritize it, it can also lead to better sleep. And if you add in some L-Dopa or you add in some ZMA, that's also going to enhance your overall test levels. And if you need help with this, you're probably a little bit older, or maybe you're somebody who's just seen a decrease in your test levels, I would recommend getting blood work done every quarter or every 6 months. But you need help, click on the link down below, go to garagestrength.com. You can enter into our old man strength training program. You could enter into our ghost face program. Both of those are fantastic workout schemes that are gonna increase your lean muscle mass. It's gonna increase your ability to resistance train, and it's going to lead to that improvement in your natural testosterone. Remember, freaks, if you wanna be a champion, you have to cultivate your power. Peace.